Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I'm a massage therapist and an osteopath here in Barcelona. If you're new to my channel, I will explain to you the basic technique to give the perfect back massage. In this case, we're gonna start with warming up the tissue. It's really important when you start with a client before you go deep into the structure to really warm up the tissue. Is one of the main requirements, especially if you want to create that narrow connection between you and the client. So you want to create trust. They have to feel that they can be in your hands. So I start try to figure it out where are some trigger point along the spine. In this case was close to the spinal muscle, and now I'm moving to the trapezius, the neck. The trapezius will go all the way to the back of the skull on the occipital, and I start massaging gently this muscle. In this video I will add some stretching, some manipulation, front thigh massage, everything that can help you to give the perfect massage to your client. Again, I start on the right side, I move to the center, and then I cover the neck and probably move to the left to start working even the other side. In this video, I was experimenting with new technique. I love every time I have a client to get the best of the experience. I always leave room for experimenting, and in this case I was trying new technique, try to to stay fresh, always learn something new on YouTube, on MadBridge, on everywhere that you can learn something that can increase and actually make you less bored, because when you repeat the same thing every day, it can be kind of boring to do the same thing day after day. So you always want to stay fresh, keep fresh. So now that was a mobilization for the shoulder complex. I was trying to HVLA on the wrist, and then some work, some active related technique on the trapezius. Then I try this stretch from thigh massage, and from there we probably use the elbow in a thigh massage mode. Here we go. This is acupressure that is go directly on the rhomboid and on the trigger point of the medium trapezius. So what you're doing is just folding on top of the muscle. So you use the lever of the hands and of the arm to go on top of the muscle. And then I stretch the chest. That is actually the opposite muscle of the rhomboid. So you always, like in the gym, you do push and pull. Here you always want to work. If you have a pain in the back, most of the time it comes from the front, and vice versa. So I'm not saying that the pain is not local. It can be local, but after an assessment, you always want to check the front and the back. If you have a pain on a side, it can be the other side. For example, if you have right now I was sorry to interrupt my flow, but I was working on the trapezius inferior, testing the trapezius inferior, and then stretching the triceps. There is this connection between muscle on one side and the other side. So for example, if you most of the time you can have pain on the quadrato lumborum on one side, and maybe it's the other side that is tight and create a higher iliac bone on the side where it's tight, and then create a problem on the other leg. So there is always you always have to check for different muscle in different part of the body. It's never so easy to find the problem. That's what I'm trying to say. So now it was like going with that deep tissue massage all the way to the lumbar, and then I'm going back up. This is more like to make the client feel comfortable, that after a tough technique you can always give some technique to rebuild trust after the pain. I found a lot of trigger point, especially in the middle of the back, and now some work on the supraspinatus and teres minor and major. Generally, people with upper cross syndrome, so with hyperkyphosis, they have this muscle really tight, and I go in the direction of the spine, so from proximal to the center, to medial, because you want to move the fascia in the opposite direction where the muscle is stretched. So I go up, and then for example, this is the technique I just learned, and using my left elbow to go down, while with the other one I'm opening the fascia and create more space, allow even the rotator to breathe, to detach from the fascia on top. When I go again with some Thai technique all the way up. So I use this Thai stretch for the chest. I found it really helpful to stretch in the chest and all the frontal part of the body. You wanna put your knee on top of the glutes and pull your client up. Again, another variation of a Thai acupressure. As you see, after I use my elbow, I always want to go back. See how red is she? I always want to go back to some soft effleurage. And then I move to the other trap, find probably a trigger point, stay there. You can stay on a trigger point until minutes, until you release. You will feel hot, warm, twitching under your thumb when you work on trigger point. That's a sign that you're doing the right thing. Sometimes you have to wait, or you have to work on other part of the body and then go back to where the pain was. Because sometimes you can't release it. It's just, you can do whatever. You can do everything. You can do positional comfort, you can do post-isometric relaxation, you can do active release technique, but sometimes it's just not the time, so you get to move somewhere else. And then eventually go back. Because I noticed, for example, for the trap, the upper trap, if you work on the lower trap, sometimes the upper trap magically get more relaxed without doing any extra work. My client was really happy about the massage. She wanted to come. She came the week after, and she really loved the work on the neck. Right now I'm working all the spinalis muscle all the way to the aponeurose of the traps, the upper traps. Some release of the rhomboid, of the trap. So on the other side, I work differently to show you other techniques. So right now I'm sitting and I have the arm on my lap, on my leg, And I'm going slowly down from the lower trap all the way up to the upper trap. This allows adhesion to break up, and you create space, you hydrate the fascia, you recreate that range of motion, the joint play, biomechanical joint play, and even increase the physiology. So, you change from a sympathetic nervous system to a parasympathetic nervous system, the cortisol level go down, the oxytocin goes up. Touch is so important. We forget how important it is. And then when you have a massage, especially now with the COVID, it's really important to find a way to release the tension. And massage is a perfect way, even for recovery. And right now I'm moving from the top all the way down. And I'm mixing some fascia work with Thai. So I move for a while and I press. Always exploring new technique, always position, always try to find something new that can make the massage more intense, because that's what you explain, what you can eventually communicate to your client. When you are interested in his body, in her body, you become your energy is different, and the client can feel it. He can definitely feel it. So always explore new way to do the same thing. That's where mastery is. I always, for example, now I'm working the neck. I always look for a class from Thomas Myers, from osteopathy training. I always look for learning new things. For example, I found the Ready State from Kelly Starrett a great tool to learn new things, new way to treat your clients. I look for in Physiopedia for have a great insight about physical training. And Smashworks, really great for everything that is related to self-care. And then I'm working right now on the two Longissimos, the two cable from Thomas Myers. I'm going all the way down, trying to release them. See how red she is, because I'm working on a fascia really deeply. You got to be really slow. The slowest, the better. Then when you find a trigger point, you can stay there a little bit longer. Then some mobilization of the sacroiliac joint. Again on the side, on the iliocostal. That goes all the way to the neck. And that was it. Thank you very much, and subscribe.